Host of the Africa's Mayors Summit, Dr. Oppong-Yeboah, who is the president of the Global Alliance, and the executive director for the Global Mayors Summit, Dr. Jibril Diallo, who happen also to be the senior advisor of UN-AIDS, have joined me here in the studios to throw more light on the fourth summit, which will be underway tomorrow. All right, so good evening. Thanks for having you here in the studios, Dr. Oppong-Yeboah and Dr. Diallo, of course.
Thank you.
And Dr. Diallo, I guess these people behind us are some of the mayors from other countries. Can you introduce them briefly before we do the interview?
In fact, this is a very important delegation of the members of the executive of the Global Alliance. To my left, we have the executive director of the Global Alliance, Dr. Oscar Gamboa, who was the organizer of the third summit in Colombia. And then to my right, we have the first woman mayor of Costa Rica.
Wow.
Yelgi from Costa Rica.
Okay.
And then we have to the left of the president of the Global Alliance, we have Celia Sacramento, who is the deputy mayor of Salvador da Bahia in Brazil, the first woman of color to be deputy mayor of Salvador da Bahia. And then to your left, we have a very important person who is Pastor Elias Murillo, who was one of the architects of the third summit in Colombia. So all of this makes us feel very, very good that we are at home in Accra, that we're here thanks to the leadership of the Lord Mayor of Accra.
All right, so thank you for the introduction and welcome you all here to our studios. Now let's begin. Now, how extraordinary is this summit? What are the key expectations? Let me start with you, Dr. Oppong-Yeboah.
Well, you know, the key expectations can be derived from the fact that, look, Ghana championed the independence of the black race. Through Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana gained independence, the first country. And then Ghana worked with several African countries to gain their independence. And then Ghana worked with so many international organizations, the non-aligned movement, the UN, and so many others, to promote unity of growth and development for the entire world community. So today, this conference is going to bring mayors and leaders of Africa and of African descent from the diaspora under the roof of His Excellency the President in Ghana, so that we can compare notes. All of us have common agendas. We have common platforms of social and economic development, of equality for our women, for our people, for our races. So these are the things that we will talk about.
All right, now Africa is a huge continent. Mayors alone cannot do the work independently. So how would you ensure their governments buy into their agenda you intend to set? So I will ask you, Dr. Diallo.
The Global Alliance, when it was set up, had as an intention really achieving two goals. One, having people of African descent have direct possibility of contributing to the development of our continent. And with us here, we have people of African descent. Secondly, how do we make sure that there is economic empowerment of our continent? By having very practical areas. Number one, when we're dealing with young people, employment of the youth. When we're dealing with gender, no country in the world treats its women as well as it does its men. So gender empowerment, very, very important. Education, but also working with Microsoft, we have telehealth, which will help the people in the rural areas to have access to medicine, so that not everybody has to come to Accra, for instance, since we're in Accra, in order to have medicine. So it's a very important program which will lead to sister city relationships between mayors and mayors working with governments.
All right, so Dr. Diallo, what form will the summit take?
The summit is the fourth of its nature. So it's known as a summit which is very, very concrete. And we have signatures of partnership agreements between mayors coming from, say, the United States and African mayors, but also South-South cooperation. We have mayors who are from other parts of Africa. So sister city relationship is one point. The second point is really education. We have specialists in two areas, early childhood education, and then we have an organization that represents 130 presidents of universities in the United States who will sign cooperation agreements with universities in Ghana, and so on and so forth.
And it's also important to mention that we have investors also coming. We have businesses coming. There are investment opportunities for the various delegates that have come from various countries.
All right, and then Dr. Oppong-Yeboah, you happen to be the president. Recently you won it in Angola, and you being the president, and in summary, what can you tell us this whole summit is going to bring to both countries participating?
I think that the cooperation, the coming together, the unity efforts that we are putting in place so that Accra can work with a city in Brazil. Accra can work with cities in Cali, in Colombia. This is very important. Bringing our people together so that we can create peace in the world. Bringing our people together so that we can promote business. Bringing our people together so we can have exposure. You know, these are elements that will always help the development of this world.
And there are two elements also which I would like to add very quickly. One, the whole envelope is the international decade, the United Nations International Decade of People of African Descent. Secondly, we have the full support of the United Nations system. And within that framework, we're using the response to HIV/AIDS as entry point to the broader issues. So you will have the presence of all the major United Nations agencies present in Ghana who are accompanying this exercise as well.
All right, that's a question I would want to ask the two of you, but I'll start with Dr. Oppong-Yeboah. This is the fourth summit. There's been the first, second, third. Can you share with us some of the positive impacts or the ideas or things that are, brought on board already?
Well, I think that it is significant to note that every year more cities and more countries have joined the alliance. You know, this alliance is going to be bigger than when we had the third summit. And the fifth summit, that will be in her city, will be bigger than what is happening in Accra. So what means that the effort is in place to every day grow the summit, every day bring more people to the table, and every day share common ideas.
All right, so what about results?
Results, today as we speak, today Accra has benefited from going to this summit. There are so many initiatives that is taking place. Look, for example, Colombia. I went to Colombia when I was first appointed mayor 7 years ago. I was in Colombia. This year, Accra is going to develop the BRT, which we learned from Bogota. You understand? We have been to Brazil. My president went to Brazil. I followed it up with the chief of staff. And we have money from Brazil. We are going to do community upgrading.
All right. Dr. Diallo, what have you got to add? 3
points. The Global Alliance is very happy to be in Ghana. And Ghana was chosen for 3 reasons. One, because we have in Dr. Alfred Van der Puy an outstanding leader. He has been elected as the best mayor in Africa. We are also wanting to salute the leadership of the president of Ghana, who has made Ghana an economic powerhouse for West Africa. And we salute his leadership of ECOWAS. And number 3, Ghana is known as a country which is a powerhouse in terms of culture and social development. So all of these participants are coming and learning from the example of Ghana and going back to their own countries of origin and applying the very good island of hope that we have in Ghana.
All right, so it's a 3-day summit. What are you going to do on day 1, day 2, and day 3? Let me share that among you.
Well, we're going to have a very exciting ceremony. Oppong-Yeboah, here present, was the main person organizing the 3rd summit in Colombia. So we will have an Olympic flame that will be passed between Oppong-Yeboah and the Lord Mayor of Accra as the start of the summit. Then we will have messages on a regional basis. And we have very important individuals apart from the mayors here. We have the Vice President of Honduras, who will be here, so that we will have regional presentations. And then we are very honored that the president is taking time off his very busy schedule in order to come and open the summit for us. The afternoon session tomorrow, very quickly, will be devoted to messages from the mayors themselves, because this is a mayor-to-mayor kind of exercise. And also, we have a very important panel discussion on how do we fast-track cities to deal with the response to HIV/AIDS.
Okay.
And then we also have a very important platform on youth entrepreneurship and youth employment, because unemployment among the youth is a very, very important component to be addressed head-on.
Okay. All right, so Dr. Oppong-Yeboah, you are the president. You are hosting the summit here in Ghana. What have you got for the people of Ghana, the whole of Accra, Ghana in general?
You know, one significant activity that is going to accompany this conference, I believe very strongly that the messages that will be delivered from His Excellency, the President opening the conference, to our former head of state and President Jerry John Rawlings ending the conference, and in between, the messages and the interaction that will happen, I believe should not just be kept to the conference center or the state house, but then we should make sure that we put the message out. So this message, this conference, this whole thing will be telecast live, you know, so people driving in their cars home, people in their offices, people at the workplaces can hear the messages that is going on. We want to take this opportunity to thank Metro TV station that they have volunteered to give us some airspace. Radio Gold has also, and then 24 channel of GBC,
yeah.
And then, you know, other radio stations, SYZ is also going to do that. That means that the messages live will go to the ears and minds of the people. I think that is a welcome thing.
All right.
To have addition of that, and then, you know, look, Accra and Ghana must stand tall, because today we are hosting the biggest number of mayors and leaders, not just mayors, and leaders of Africa and diaspora coming. It's a great day, and we must celebrate.
Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best on the 4th summit, which is being held here in Accra. So I'll be speaking to Dr. Oppong-Yeboah. He is the president of the World Africa Summit here in Ghana, and he happened to be the mayor of Accra as well. And I also spoke to Dr. Gabriel Diallo, who is a senior advisor UN8 and also the executive director for the mayors here in Accra. So the summit certainly is tomorrow. It's a 3-day summit. It's live at the Accra International Conference Center beginning 1st to the 3rd of June. So we say wish them luck, and certainly Metro TV will be monitoring and bring you all the events that is going to take place on the 4th summit here, which is going to be certainly something very big, and Accra should be proud to have such a program hosted here in our country. So you're still watching Sunday's edition of the news? Don't go away.